Hey guys, Master Studios here, how y'all doing? Welcome to part 3 of my review for Crystalized. In today's video, I'm going over something that I didn't go over in part 2 of the series, mainly because I wanted to turn it into its own separate video, with that being the inaccuracies during this season. When it comes to Crystalized, there were so many things during this season that they just got inaccurate and wrong given the information that we know from previous seasons, that I genuinely wonder how this happened. So let's get into this whole thing, and in case it isn't obvious, spoilers for part 2 of Crystalized. Now, when it comes to Ninjago, it has been going on for 11 years at this point, and when you have a franchise that's been going on for a really long time, it does make sense that some things aren't always going to be accurate. And this sort of thing is definitely not new when it comes to Ninjago. Tons of franchises have this exact same deal. And when it comes to Crystalized, it also has this same situation going on. And if this was like 1 or 2 inaccuracies when it comes to Ninjago, then I wouldn't consider it to be that big a deal. Yet the amount of things that were inaccurate when it comes to this season, and with the knowledge that we know from previous seasons, is absolutely ridiculous. Like, there were so many inaccuracies during this season. Just seriously, what was even going on? So let me explain when it comes to a lot of the inaccuracies, and there's probably some that I missed. So let's begin. Where to start? Let's start with Garmadon. For starters, it was made pretty clear during the Wildbrain era of the show that no one knew where Garmadon was, and his location at this point was a mystery. Well, according to Crystalized, apparently he's been in Ninjago City this whole time and has been Vinny's roommate. And the ninja never found out about this. Like, how is it that they didn't know where Garmadon was? Like, it's not like he's in hiding or anything. He's been in Ninjago City this entire time. And, like, did no one tell the ninja about any of this? Like, this feels really weird. Plus, also at the same time, this whole thing basically contradicts the whole idea of the Garmadon solo comic, which is meant to explain where Garmadon was during the Wildbrain era of the show. So that's something that's really weird. In addition to this stuff, when it comes to Garmadon, when Garmadon and Vinny are talking to each other, Garmadon says that he was brought back from the Cursed Realm, which is inaccurate. He was brought back from the Departed Realm. Yes, it's true that when it comes to Garmadon, he was in the Preeminent when it was destroyed, so you could say that he was technically in the Cursed Realm. However, my counter to that is seasons 8 and 9, where they specifically say the Departed Realm. Harumi says the Departed Realm when she's resurrecting Lord Garmadon, and during season 9, Garmadon talks about the stuff that he saw in the Departed Realm. So again, it's made pretty clear that it's the Departed Realm, not the Cursed Realm that Garmadon was in. But that's not it when it comes to Garmadon. Garmadon says that when it comes to Harumi, she was like a daughter to him, but that also isn't accurate. Harumi wasn't like a daughter to Garmadon. Harumi was Garmadon's daughter, because Garmadon adopted Harumi during the season 9 episode 2 Lies, One Truth. And this is also the closest that we ever get to having either Garmadon or Harumi bring up the fact that Harumi is Garmadon's daughter. And just, how come this wasn't brought up at any point? I thought it's something that they were going to bring up, but they just didn't for some reason, and that was really weird. Here's some more stuff relating to Garmadon. When Lloyd and Harumi are fighting against each other during episode 14, Harumi says that anger fuels Oni power, and Lloyd is being just like his father. Except that's not true, because it wasn't anger that fueled Garmadon's power, it was conflict. In fact, that's the entire reason why Lloyd stopped fighting against Garmadon during the season 9 finale, because the fighting made Garmadon stronger, so not fighting against Garmadon made him weaker, which is why Lloyd did it in the first place. Also, here's another thing that's kind of related to Garmadon. When Lloyd and Garmadon are in the Serpentine Library, Lloyd says how you can either care or you don't care. You can't learn how to care. And how when it comes to Oni, they can't care. They can only destroy, which is why he doesn't trust Garmadon. Since again, he's an Oni, and Oni can't care about anything. Yeah, let's just completely ignore Mistake, who, was a full-blooded Oni who fell in love with the realm of Ninjago and wanted to make sure that it was safe, and literally died in order to try and save Lloyd and the Resistance. So I guess we're just going to completely ignore that. For some reason. Also, when it comes to Garmadon, this season basically forgets that Sensei Garmadon ever existed in the first place, because Lloyd only ever brings up the bad stuff related to Garmadon, and never once brings up anything related to Sensei Garmadon, which seems really weird, Especially considering the fact that during the Oni trilogy, there were definitely some moments where Lloyd was seemingly bringing up a bit of the stuff from Sensei Garmadon, like during True Potential and a little bit during March of the Oni. So it seems pretty weird that this season just forgets that Sensei Garmadon ever existed. Like, what the heck? Here's some more inaccuracies. Once the ninja are locked behind bars, they meet up with Ronin, and Lloyd says that Ronin hasn't done anything in order to help out anyone but himself. Yeah, let's just completely ignore Season 5 where Ronin did literally that exact thing. He used his money in order to try and help fight against Moro by literally dropping all of his money on Moro and the house that he was in. Like, Ronin wasn't doing that sort of thing because he thought he was gonna get anything out of it. He was doing it and to do the right thing. And so, no, that isn't true when it comes to Ronin. And again, the season just forgets about that for some reason. Speaking of Ninja, there's more stuff when it comes to the inaccuracies. Like, for example, multiple times during the season, Cole refers to Vanya as Princess Vanya, and he even did this exact same thing during Seabound. Yeah, it's not like the ending of Master of the Mountain showed Vanya being coronated as Queen of Shintaro or anything. Oh wait, that is exactly what happened! And Cole was even there when the coronation happened in the first place. Why is he still referring to Vanya as a princess when she is a queen? Like, what the heck? And here's some more inaccuracies that involve the ninja. When it comes to Zane, during the episode The Return of the Ice Emperor, Zane becomes the Ice Emperor again because he was damaged as a result of the crash. Even though the reason why Zane became the Ice Emperor in the first place was because of Vex's manipulation, Vex erasing his memories, and the Scroll Forbidden Spinjitzu, which corrupted him. None of which are present, so Zane turning back into the Ice Emperor just feels really weird considering none of the stuff matches up with how Zane became the Ice Emperor in the first place. Also, here's another thing related to Zane. Pixel says she doesn't know if there's an afterlife for robots. And David the Departed shows us that, yes, there is. It's the Departed realm, because when Zane is battling against Crypto and some Ninjroids, he's able to defeat them and their souls go back to the Departed realm, and Pixel was there too because her processor was in the back of Zane's head. So she knows that yes, there is an afterlife for robots. They just ignored Dave the Departed for some reason when it comes to this. Here's something else. When it comes to the Overlord, he says that he's the one who corrupted the Great Devourer in the first place and made Garmadon evil. And he refers to the Great Devourer as a he. The Great Devourer is a she. We know this for a fact because during Season 7, it's revealed that the Vermilion Warriors are the firstborn offspring of the Great Devourer, meaning that the Great Devourer is a female, not a male. Now, here are some inaccuracies that have to do with Harumi. For starters, at one point during Crystalized, the Overlord said that Harumi still has feelings for Lloyd, which, yeah, that's not true. Seasons 8 and 9 made it very, very clear that Harumi hates Lloyd and she wants him to suffer. I mean, during Season 8, Harumi basically made it her mission to turn Lloyd's entire world into a living nightmare, or even going so far as to try and kill him on multiple occasions during Season 8. So this line makes absolutely no sense and does not fit with Harumi's character given everything that we saw of her during the events of the show. But that's not it. During episode 14, Lloyd says that Harumi doesn't want to see innocent people get hurt. And, yeah, how many innocent people died as a result of Harumi's actions during Season 8? I mean, we don't have the exact numbers, but Harumi definitely implied that she wanted innocent people to die as a result of the Oni Titans rampage during the Season 8 finale, plus not to mention she blew up the Palace of Secrets, which resulted in the death of Hutchins, as well as also the Emperor and Empress of Ninjago, who were her adopted parents, and Harumi couldn't care less about the Emperor and Empress dying at all, and again, she implied that she wanted innocent people to die as a result of her attack on Ninjago City during the Season 8 finale. So yeah, no, Harumi's perfectly fine with innocent people dying if it means that she can get what she wants. And for one last inaccuracy that we have, it has to do with Lloyd's arc. Something that I brought up a few times is the idea that when it comes to Lloyd, ever since the events of the Ice chapter, he's been going on this big and massive character arc all throughout the events of the WoW era of the show, with him getting over Harumi and moving on from her. And during this season, there are moments where it seems like the writers remembered Lloyd's arc of him getting over Harumi and moving on from her, with Lloyd trying to do what he can to fight against Harumi and stop her, but then there's also these moments where it seems like the writers forgot about Lloyd's arc because Lloyd's trying to get through to Harumi and trying to get her to stop doing all the stuff that she's doing, which seems really weird. And by the end of the season, there isn't any real conclusion to this arc at all, which doesn't make any sense at all. And in a way, almost goes against Lloyd's entire arc that they've been doing for the past 3 years, basically. So just, what the heck's even going on with this? So, yeah, there was definitely a lot, and I mean a lot of inaccuracies when it comes to Crystalized, when you compare it to information that we know from earlier seasons in the show. And again, if this was like one or two things, then I could understand it. But given how many of them there were, and there was probably still some that I forgot about when it came to making this video, just, it is ridiculous how much stuff they got wrong when it came to this season. Just, how is it that they got this much information wrong when it comes to Crystalized? I don't get it. And so there's just one last part in this series that I want to make when it comes to me fully explaining stuff before I get into my conclusion, with that being my biggest issue that I have with Crystalized, and that's going to be in part 4. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And so that's all I got for you guys. So tell me down below, what do you guys think? Tell me, were there any other inaccuracies or continuity errors that I missed when it came to making this video? Tell me down below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Later, guys, this is Dimension Master Studios, signing off.